Alright, so I'm making this video. It's on the Bering Optics Super Yoter C. It's a clip-on unit. It's a relatively new unit that Bering Optics has put out. Unfortunately, they released the unit to dealers, but they don't have a owner's manual produced yet. Now, what they've been doing is sending in an owner's manual that's for one of their similar optics. Unfortunately, if you've never dealt with Bering or owned a Bering product, you would be unfamiliar with the way their menu system works. But if you own one of the Hogsters, Super Hogsters, or any of those, it's the same 3-button system, and to my knowledge, they work all the same. It's very similar. So this is going to be a quick video just explaining how to zero the actual clip-on. You want to sight your gun in, use your optic, get a dead set zero at whatever zero distance you're going to use. Most people use 100 yards, 100 meters. You want to refine that zero the best you can. Then from there, you're going to go ahead and put your clip-on on. This one is shown with the little sleeve that is basically just hides light from it. Also adds as a little bit of a buffer and keeps dirt from getting into the lens of your scope. You're going to go ahead and turn the optic on, or the clip-on on, by pushing the forward button. Make sure you put batteries in it, because when you get it, it won't have batteries. Push down, hold, and you will see the Bering Optics logo come on the inside on the screen. From there, you're going to go ahead and hit the middle button, which is your menu button. It has an M on it. And you're going to go ahead, I don't know if you can see the M on there, but you're going to hit that button and hold it. That's going to appear a menu screen. You're going to scroll down to a symbol that looks like crosshairs. It's about the 6th symbol down. You're going to go ahead and hit that middle button again and click on that. And that's going to take you to how you zero it. It's going to give you your x-axis and y-axis, and so your windage and elevation. You're going to make your corrections. I suggest shooting it at about 25 to 50 yards to start, see your impact points, and then move out to 100 and zero there. At 25 yards, I can see a pasty with this thing. Like, I can literally stick up just a standard Walmart, 1-inch pasty target, not a thermal or anything. And I can see that with this optic. At 100, I can't make that out. So at 100, I'll have to use some type of thermal heat signature. A hand warmer works great. A little pocket warmer. Take those, shake them up, heat them up, and then what I'll do is fold it in half, and then I'll tape the edges down on the side. So I make it basically as close to a 1-inch square as I can. Set up at 100, and I'll shoot that. I'll put it on a white piece of paper. I can see the impact points. This is a 223 rifle, and I can actually see my bullet impact points at 100 yards. So at least I could last night. It was probably, I don't know, 68 degrees, 65 degrees, something like that. I could also see the edge of the paper. So what I'll do, this has a chevron aiming point for the reticle. I'll take the point of the chevron and I'll run it over to the edge of the paper, and so I have two lines I can square and get that zero perfect. That's what I use when I refine the zero also. And then I'll go back to the heat signature, and I'll fire a 3-shot group there. I have some 3-shot groups I shot last night. All 3 shots are touching. So I've heard stories that, you know, thermals, you can't get that, you're not going to get that accurate with. Yeah, I can see that. I've heard you're not going to get better than an inch. I don't know if that's totally true. I think a lot of that's, I think that's the thermal, I think that's the glass, I think that's the shooter, I think that's how hot your barrel is, how hot your suppressor is. If you have a suppressor cover, I'm getting off on a tangent, but I was able to shoot well under an inch, probably ½ inch or better in every one of my groups I shot last night. So I shot 4 or 5 different groups, and these are 3-shot groups, not 5-shot groups. So normally I shoot 5-shot groups, but with this thing I was just shooting 3s. Hopefully that answers some questions on how to go ahead and just sight it in real quick. The other thing that I wanted to cover that's new, a lot of people complained about Bering's mounting system. They have went to a LaRue mount. This is new. I bought this for a customer, and I'm actually trying it to make sure that it holds true before I give it to him, and it doesn't need to be epoxied. So you can have these epoxy just like they do on the Hogsters and some of the other models, but at that point it won't be able to be removed. I spoke to the one of the engineers for Bering, and he said that they would do that, but unfortunately they would not be able to remove it at that point, or they would remove it and it wouldn't void the warranty. That's what they told me. I didn't know if the customer wanted that. If this holds good and retains 0 and there's no shift, then there's no point in that. But I've had other customers that have recently complained about the screws loosening up, and there is no lug surface between the mount and the actual the clip-on itself. So this clip-on will actually shift. There's been that issue. The thing that hit me funny with the LaRue is all LaRue mounts don't sit on a rail. Because of their design, they have a wedge lock and it pushes pressure up. So if you watch, if you look at them, they actually hover above the rail. But they usually all have an integral recoil lug that fits in between your Picatinny slot. Well, for some reason, they just took Bering's design and put their little lever on it. So I don't know how this is going to work unless they're thinking that this piece right here acts as a recoil lug, which I'm testing right now. So we will see, because there is no recoil lug, it's flat underneath. And if that's the case, then your clamping force is kind of minimal, and you put it on a high recoiling gun, you're gonna have the same issues you had with the other mount. Actually, the other mount actually has a recoil lug in there. So anyways, this is just for some people that contacted me and they were having issues. There's some other videos out there very in-depth. Guy covers a lot of information with electronic scope, but doesn't give you the information you need just to hurry up and get it zeroed. So hopefully this helps somebody, and anyways, have a great day. Bye.